Note to self, do not try filming videos during Mercury retrograde. This is the third time I've tried to film this. My camera keeps on dying, my memory card got full, and then people kept on ringing the doorbell. But I'm gonna make this happen for you guys today. So welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Scarlett and I do weekly videos about tarot, paganism, and magic. And today I wanted to take you a bit behind the scenes and talk about how you can turn your hobby into a full-time profession. So this video is all about 5 different steps into turning your passion into a spiritually focused business. Though these tips, they could really work for any entrepreneur nowadays. And where I recommend people really starting when they are considering this process of becoming a full-time entrepreneur in this space is to begin by thinking about what is your niche and then what product you are going to be selling. So for example, my niche is tarot reading, but I actually even drill down even further, and it's not just tarot reading, it's taking a contemporary approach to tarot, bringing tarot into the 21st century. That's really my focus, that's my niche, and that's gonna help me build my audience, and that's gonna help drive any design or content creation decisions I make. The other part of that is defining what your product's gonna be, and people tend to fall into usually 2 camps. Either you are providing a service like tarot reading or Reiki or yoga instruction or nutritionist or something like that, more service-oriented businesses, or people want to sell a product. So maybe they want to build a shop or maybe just an Etsy store. So you kind of divide it between those 2 areas. And of course you can do both, but I would not recommend doing both to start out. It's always best to pick one route, excel in that route, and then maybe consider. So maybe I'll consider a shop a year from now, who knows. But that is my first step to starting a spiritual business, is to determine your niche and what you're going to be selling. So step number 2 is going to be build your audience. And I recommend building your audience, building your community before you start selling anything, before you have a website, because there's no point in creating a website until you have a community that are going to be interested in purchasing what you're selling. So there are many different ways to build your community, and luckily with technology we have so many options available to us through social media to get ourselves into the community and establish ourselves as a thought leader in that space. So really you got to embrace it. I mean, the old world of marketing and advertising is gone and probably for the better. I mean, there's so many advantages to not having a brick and mortar place if you don't want one. And I don't. I do most of my readings through Skype. So there are so many great advantages about living in the 21st century, but you're gonna have to embrace the technology component. And that means picking some social media platforms. I don't recommend doing them all, but picking 2 or 3 and starting to create content for those platforms, starting to actively engage with the other community members within your niche and learning from them too, seeing what they're posting that you connect with and thinking about, well, why do I connect with that? Would I be able to create something like that? And really learning from the people that are currently in your field. And so that would be a key point, is embracing technology as a way to build your audience. This process is also going to help you define who your audience is, who is your ideal customer. And that's going to be helpful when it comes to building your website, because you'll already know who you're building it for. You'll know what kind of design aesthetic that group likes, what kind of information they want to read, and what kind of things they want to engage with. So building your audience and learning from your audience and your community is my step number 2. So step number 3 for me is to treat it like you would any other business. And I bring this up because this is a trap I sometimes see people fall into, where they are burnt out, disenchanted by their normal 9 to 5, and they want to start their own business in a spiritually focused field because they want to spend their days being creative. And yes, I get to be creative every day and I love that, but that doesn't mean that I get to ignore all the businessy aspects of being an entrepreneur. So expect to spend time doing spreadsheets, business plans, figuring out your taxes. All of that stuff is essential to your success. And if you treat it like you would any other entrepreneurial venture, there is huge potential to succeed. I've made so much more money running my own business, Arcane Alchemy, than I ever did in the corporate world where I worked as a project manager at a digital marketing firm. So there is huge potential there to make a lot of money with this, but you gotta treat it like a business. It's not all just creative fun. I mean, there's a lot of hard work, there's a lot of math that goes into it. So you can't ignore those components. So that was my step number 3. So step number 4 is building your website. And like I mentioned before, I put this all the way down at step number 4 because I think it's important to become a member of the community, to establish value within that community, to provide that value through content, to engage with others and learn from them before you start selling people things. So I'm sure we have all experienced it before. No one likes being sold something from someone they don't know, especially something that's as personal as a tarot reading, right? It's important to establish yourself as a thought leader within the community and to create free content and things like that to get people to learn more about you and learn what you're about and feel confident in your knowledge base. So when you get to step number 4 to building your website, you're gonna already know what kind of website you want, how you want your branding to be, what your logo design should look like, and everything else that's involved with that. The only thing you might not know yet is how to get it done. And I get that building a website can be very intimidating. When I took the leap to starting my own business, I did not know how to do web design, I didn't know how to code, I didn't know how to do graphic design, and those were all skills that I had to learn and develop over time. So that was my step number 4, which leads us to our final step number 5, which is to develop your monthly business goals as well as your daily routine. And this is all about constantly working to improve your business that you've created and make yourself a good daily routine so you don't drive yourself insane or get burned out. And one of the things that I really like to do is divide the year into 12. So each month I focus on a different aspect of my business to improve upon. So for example, January was a web design refresh where I moved some stuff around, updated some graphics. I think February was the Instagram month, so I worked on continuing to build my community and engagement there and create a lot of new content for my Instagram. So each month I dedicate towards improving a particular facet of my business. And this is a great way to kind of constantly be evolving and changing and staying up to date with the current trends within the business community. And on the other side of that is developing your daily routine to prevent burnout. So really kind of figuring out what type of daily schedule works best for you. Some of us are morning people, some of us are evening people. And if you are an entrepreneur, most likely you're gonna have to self-motivate yourself, right? Because you're working for yourself, you're your own boss. So I always approach it as I work Monday through Friday, usually 9 to 6. So I try and treat it like you would any normal job, but you'll have to see what schedule works best with you. And then I tend to focus my mornings on certain routines like checking email, checking my social media accounts, creating content, and then my afternoons is when I do a lot of my lessons and my readings, my business coaching classes and things like that. So developing your daily routine and getting it down to a science really helps you get in the groove, stay motivated, stay up to date on all the trends, and keep your business evolving and changing with the times. So I hope you enjoyed this short little blueprint to get you guys started, get you guys starting to think about how you might make this transition to becoming a full-time entrepreneur in this sector. But I'd love to hear from you guys if you are interested in some more like behind the scenes type videos on what life is like as a full-time reader. If you are looking for more info on things like web design, social media marketing, content marketing, all of that, I will post a corresponding Facebook group I have in the comments down below. And then I also do personalized one-on-one coaching and web design services and stuff like that. So if you are stuck on that component, definitely reach out and let me know, and I'd be happy to work with you. So thank you guys so much for watching this video today. I hope you all survive the rest of the Mercury retrograde, and I will talk to y'all next week. Bye.